Hi, today we're going to talk about multiplying by a two-digit number. The homework tonight is finishing what we started in class. Although we looked at the example in class, I'm going to run through it again quickly so that we can remember what it is we're supposed to do. As you can see from the example on the page, and this is page 53 on the worksheet, our example is 172 times 23. We want to write this problem vertically, and once we do that, we look at step 1. And step 1 says that you multiply the 172 by the 3. You kind of ignore the 2 in the 23. Okay, so let's do that. They've done it for us over here. 172 times 3. So I'm going to make little arrows so you see what we're doing. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 7 is 21. Since we can't fit the 21 underneath, we split it up. So 3 times 7 is 21. We put the 2 up here and the 1 down here. Then we do 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. But we have to add that 2 back in. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. So for step 1, we've written 516. Now, we've done step 1. Now we're on to step 2. And it says, multiply 175 by 20. Well, the 20 is the 20 in 23. It sounds harder than it is. We're just going to multiply 2 times 172. But before we do that, we're first going to do what we call drop the egg, which means we put a 0 underneath. So we're writing the answer to our multiplication on the second line. But since we're moving everything over to the tens place, we drop the egg in that one spot to save the spot. So you write a 0, and then you proceed to do 2 times 172. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14, but we can't fit both numbers underneath. So we put the 4 here, and since we already have a 2 up here from the step 1, we put the 1 above it. Now, I told the kids, if you get confused, after you do step 1, you can always cross out this number, any little notes, so that you can see clearly what you're doing. Okay? Now we do 2 times 1, which is 2. But we add the 1, and that number is 3. Okay? So we've done step 2. The last step is step 3. We add the 2 parts of the product, the 2 parts of the problem. So we add 516 plus 3,440. Now, for some reason, there is no plus sign put in any of these problems. So I had the students go through and write the plus sign in. Okay? And once you add those 2 lines together, 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. And nothing plus 3 is 3. So our answer is 3,956. Okay, let's now try number 19. Okay, now we're going to start on number 19. So our first step is to multiply by the number in the ones place. So we're going to multiply by this 3. We're going to multiply 3 times this top row up here. Okay, 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 4 is 12. We put the 2 here and the 1 up here. 3 times 2 is 6, plus that 1 is 7. Step 2, we multiply the number in the tens place by the top row. Again, before we start writing our answer, we have to drop the egg so we can move everything over and start in the tens place. 3 times 0 is 0. Okay. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm going to put the 2 here. I'm going to cross out this one and put another 1 here because it's the 2 and the 1 from the 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now you may have noticed that both of these numbers are 3. So I could have saved myself some work and just realized that I could have just rewritten this number right here after I dropped the egg. But if I didn't, that's okay. Okay. Now you add, put in a plus sign, so you remember that you're adding these 2 lines, and that's your step 3. Now some students, we just did the multiplication part of number 19 and the multiplication part of 20, and I told them to go home and do the addition part at home. So at this point, they would add these 2 lines together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 2 is 9. And nothing plus 7 is 7. So your answer is 7,920. Okay. I'm going to do number 20. And then 21 and 22, I'd like you to try on your own. Okay? All right, so number 20. Step 1, multiply the number in the ones place by the top row. So I'm looking at this second number here, the bottom number. The number in the ones place is 9. I'm going to multiply it by the top row. Okay? 9 times 8. Okay? So 9 times 8 is 72. I put the 2 down here and the 7 up here. 9 times 0 is 0. Plus 7 is 7. Right? 9 times 5 is 45. And that's the last number, so I can just put it in there. Okay. Time for step 2. I'm going to multiply the 6 times the top row. Okay? Before I do that, I'm going to cross out this 7 so that anything I write up here will not be confused with the 7. The next thing I'm going to do is to drop the egg because I'm multiplying by a 6 in the tens place. So I want to move everything over one space. Okay. All right, 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. So I put the 8 here and the 4 above the next number. 6 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. Now I move to 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, step 3. add these two lines together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 7 is 15. Put the 5 down here, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Put the 0 down here and carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. And nothing plus 3 is 3. Your answer is 35,052. Okay. For numbers 21 and 22, before you get started, maybe you could write a few little tricks to help you. The first one is to put a plus sign here to remind you that step 3 is to add those two lines, those two parts of the problem. The other step I would remind you to do is to go ahead and write in that 0. Drop your egg right now for both problems, so you don't forget. Okay? And then you're just going to repeat each step, just like it showed in the example. In number 21, first you multiply the 1 times the top row, and you write your answers in the box. In this box here, these boxes. Then you multiply the 8 times the top row. You've already dropped your egg, and you write your answers for that in these boxes. And step 3, you add both lines together and write your answers here. Okay? And step 22, try that one as best you can. I look forward to seeing how you do in class tomorrow.